time for this weekend's Capitol Report. Pat McGuigan is here. And Pat, you broke a national story, actually yesterday, this week, about President Obama's decision to not grant an extension to Insure Oklahoma. Insure Oklahoma is the state's way to help the state's working poor purchase insurance. Talk about that decision.
Cindy Mann with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, on behalf of the Obama administration, wrote a letter to the Oklahoma Health Care Authority in which the administration formally denied an extension of Oklahoma's Insure Oklahoma program. The way she put it was that is, quote, is not possible, close quote. Mann said that the federal administration would be willing to work with Oklahoma to design a program that's consistent with their guidelines. And that's, frankly, somewhat of a hollow promise because Oklahoma's program has been around since 2004, and this may be the end of it.
Okay, and we know that you've spoken to Governor Mary Fallin. Talk about what she had to say, what her response was to this.
Fallin was about as strong in her language as I've seen her in recent months. She said that because of this, it's likely that Insure Oklahoma will cease to exist at the end of the year. That's a direct quote. "This is the latest bad news in the ongoing train wreck that is Obamacare," close quote. She said the president promised if you like your health insurance, you can keep it. And that is a direct quote from what the president said. She says he has not kept his word. As a result of this, 30,000 Oklahomans will be forced off their insurance plans at the end of the year. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised by this, but it was still pretty startling to read in plain text that Barack Obama's administration, the old community organizer from Chicago, a guy that said he was looking out for working people and poor people, that his administration would deny the continued existence of a program that has been operational for almost a decade, that has bipartisan support in Oklahoma, that was designed by Democrats and Republicans, and has been steadily supported by the legislature and by the appropriate state officials. When you actually see it in cold print, it's just kind of shocking, because the design of the American system is for the states to be laboratories of democracy. That's an old saw, an old expression. And this is absolute clear-cut proof that Oklahoma has not ignored the problem. That doesn't mean that all the poor have access to insurance. It means that at least on this piece, which is working people that needed access to the insurance market, Oklahoma has had a plan for a long time, and it works, and the Obama administration is saying it can't continue.
Okay, so what does this mean for Oklahoma in the short term and in the long term? What does it mean for the people that are on Insure Oklahoma right now?
Well, it's pretty scary. It means that on December 31st, barring a couple of things that have been percolating that I think are long shots now, barring a couple of those coming to fruition unexpectedly, it means the program will end on December 31st. It's a program that's worked, in which the poor, working poor, participated in payment for their own insurance the same way, admittedly supported by the government, but they paid premiums. They've been paying premiums, some of them for 10 years, just like folks who have access through their employers participate in their plans. It means that will end. It's a program that enabled the poor to participate in a way like middle class and upper class people. It means we'll have to see if any proposals emerge that might fill the gap. There was a report by a group called the Leavitt Group, a private sector research organization, that was prepared and is actually finished now, but it's not going to be formally unveiled until June, and that's now been submitted to the Fallin administration. and we'll see if they have any creative ideas. But again, this is a jolt. There are states that have done very market-oriented things, including Louisiana and Florida, that the Obama administration approved, but they said no to this.
All right. Well, we appreciate all of the information about it and for you breaking this story. And that's this weekend's Capitol Report. Have a great weekend, folks.